Recording. Okay. Hi. All right. So I wanted to give you guys a few quick announcements. I read somewhere today, and now I feel like maybe it's not right, but I'm pretty sure it is, that you can still be recognized for a rank diamond and below advancement through June 15th. So you still have time to rank advance and get, it was just above diamond that you had to qualify back in May. That would be this month, a couple weeks ago. But if you're diamond and below and you rank advance before the 15th of June, you will get recognized. So that's good. Yeah. Okay. The Success Club party, just a reminder, you have to have 20 Success Club points between this month and last month and hit Success Club 5 both months, at least Success Club 5 both months. Yay? Question mark. Heather, you're gangbusters this week, so I don't know, or last week, I guess it was.
What are you talking about?
You had really high volume last week. You don't even know. You don't pay attention.
No, because I have no Success Club points. And
so, okay, that tells me that all of those people, you should have signed up as discount coaches.
Do you know how many freaking messages I have sent out?
Okay. Just make sure and go back and look at those people and make sure that you have at least contacted them about that.
I have.
Okay. This month's Success, which you did have a good week last week. Better than me. Congratulations. Yay. The Success Club prize for May is a webinar with John Maxwell, which is, I thought, a pretty good deal. I think that's good. I like that. There's new forms on the FAQ page. Hi, I can't talk. This Shakeology change form actually looks different in a good way, and you can now add your, you can change your address in there, and within like the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be able to update your credit card information on a form now. You're not going to have to go through a phone call to do it, which is nice.
That's super awesome.
Isn't that cool? Hey, Frank Mitchell, will you go get me a LaCroix in the laundry room, please? Will you get me a LaCroix in the laundry room? I'm dying of thirst. So I think that's a pretty big deal in terms of our customer service abilities. That makes things a lot easier. So I'm happy about that. Have you guys taken a look at UV2?
Yes.
It's cute, isn't it?
Yes. I think I would be bored out of my mind, but for somebody who doesn't do a lot of exercise or has issues, health issues, I think it's awesome.
I actually did it, and you do work up a sweat.
Really?
Yes. So, because I have somebody who has neck issues, and I wanted to see, would this be something that she could do? So I did it, just to see.
Awesome.
I worked up a sweat, so.
And I think it's a really good option now for people who can't start at 21-day fix even. Yep. Older people with injuries. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's really good. I said don't discount that program. I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. How are you guys doing with the All Access Challenge Pack?
I'm killing it.
I can tell. Sorry.
I've got people who are getting the all access, but not the
challenge pack. That is how my month started. Which I'm going to talk about that. This is what I'm going to, that's what I'm going to talk about tonight, actually, is what to do when that kind of stuff happens. Like, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Because my month started out like that. I was at Success Club until about 3 days ago. And usually I'm at Success Club 10 by the 5th. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Everybody was like, yeah, I'd love to have the all access. I'm like, for $60 more, why would you not get Shakeology? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I think I even said that to a couple people. That's stupid. Whatever.
I said that to my best friend. That's what I told her. I said, that's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Because you're never going to get that deal again.
Right.
So I definitely have been trying to explain that to people. And some people are like, yeah, you're right. That is a good deal. Okay. And other people are like, I just want the exercise. I'm like, that's stupid. Okay. So this is what I wanted to talk about, is what happens when your month isn't going as planned. There's typically a few months out of the year that are like that, more than others, for sure. And I think I remember the last couple of Mays have been like this. If I looked back at my Success Club, I could probably see that. But I think that maybe the first year it wasn't like that because my warm market was not tapped out, you know. But then since then, it's been like that in May. November, December are other months. Although our team had a great December, didn't we? Like we all did good in December. November is typically tough. And then May. So you usually do great January, February, March, April, and then kids start getting out of school and parents are super busy with everything that's going on within the school and they're not thinking about themselves. And so May tends to be kind of blah. And then June picks back up again. And then September will be your next blah month. I promise you. Mark my words. So not that there's anything wrong with that. And I think that in general, if you look at, although it's kind of pissing me off a little bit, to be honest with you, because usually when you look at retail sales across the United States, not just Beachbody, but retail sales generally follow what we're dealing with too. And so a big barometer for me is my husband's bike shop, although we are seasonal in the sense that it's a bike shop and we live in a mountain town, but in a ski town, but still his shop tends to follow retail. But he's pissing me off right now because he's killing it in May. And I'm like, I'm not killing it in May. And so retail sales are up for sure right now, but not in Beachbody. And I think that's normal. And it happens every single year in May. If you look at Beachbody's stats, they're like dip in May. And I really think it's parents and kids being busy and parents being busy. I mean, I'm out of my mind busy. I'm so tired. I was reading before the call and I fell asleep on the couch and my Voxer, Kimberly, thank you, woke me up. So yeah, appreciate that. That's a good thing. But I wanted to talk about what you can do though. And we're still 6 more days till the end of the month. We're not out of the realm of possibility of hitting Success Club or getting on the board at least. But what do you do when you've done all the things? Like Heather said, you have no idea how many messages I've sent. Because I get that. And I've been doing that all month. And I some nights I just am like, I can't send any more messages. I'm too tired of sending messages. And here's the thing. So I'm going to give you guys some tips of what I have done in the past. This does not come from anybody else's plans. This does not come from any of the 15 star diamonds that have 120 Success Club points in May. This comes from me, who currently has 6 and had 0 as of 4 days ago. So this has been a rough month, okay? Not going to lie. And as a matter of fact, I have Voxered Shay about 5 times in the last 4 days going, what if I don't hit Success Club? What if I break my 38-month streak? Like, what if? And she's like, stop it, you're fine. Stop it, you're fine. I'm like, I'm really not fine. Really not fine. She's like, nope, you got it. You can do this. It's not a big deal. You'll get there. So I just wanted to share with you what I've been doing in terms of how I'm trying to get there, because I really need one more challenge pack in order to get to that dang Success Club party, which to be honest with you, I don't care about. And I'd gotten to the point 4 days ago where I was like, you know what? If I don't hit Success Club, I'm okay with it. I'm just going to let it go. I do want to get on the board, but I can't have 0. But if I don't hit 6, then I will bless and release. But I can't not be on the board. And then I was like, and I'm not going to ever let that happen again. I did make that decision. So I would say that, hey, how are you? Glad you're back. I would say that if you don't hit Success Club this month, I would say that you need to make, first of all, a pact with yourself and with your Success Club partner that you won't let it happen again. That's certainly that's the first thing I did. I was like, you know what? If I don't, and I talked to my Success Club partners about it, I said, don't let me do this again. And then I had a rough Kimberly likes that. I had a rough start to the month only because I was out of town for really the entire first week of May and the last week of April. So that's no excuse though, but my trip that I was in the first week of May was actually, I had no access to internet. I couldn't check messages. I could text, but I couldn't check Facebook. I couldn't do anything. And so my hands were tied, and that set me back. And that was 5 days. And that's all it took to slow my momentum down going into a month that's typically slow. So my first thing would be to say is that don't let your momentum slow down, even if you're not hitting Success Club. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the 4 vitals. Keep doing the activities that mark success, even if you're not having success. As Shay would say, act as if you are having success. Okay, so that would be the first thing I would say is make a pact with yourself that if you don't hit Success Club, to not beat yourself up about it, but to not let it happen again. The second thing would be to act as if you are being successful and continue doing those activities, because it's only going to pay off in the next month. And you know that, you guys. I know you know that. I know you guys have seen when you work really hard. Let's say you work really hard one month and you end up at Success Club 10, okay? Do you find that the next month is actually easier because you have so much momentum of all the people that you've been talking to in the previous month where you did have really good success, that it kind of rolls over into the next month? Would you agree with that? Yeah. So even though you're not having great success this month, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing the same things that are going to have you be successful in June and July and August. Because if you give up now, June, July, and August are going to be just as hard as this month. So don't lose that momentum. Even though you don't have momentum points on the board, you still have the opportunity to have momentum in terms of talking to people and messaging people and starting conversations. Okay, so that would be following up, continuing to follow up a ton. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Hey, hold on just a second. Hey, Frank, he has not had lunch yet, dinner yet? Okay, and he can have whatever he wants, just whatever. Anyway, so follow up a ton. Go back and look at your list. And I'll get to something about your list in a second, but do it. Do follow up. I set reminders on my phone to follow up with people, and I follow it. Like if it pops up a reminder that I'm supposed to follow up with somebody, I'm going to go do it, even if I don't want to, which is frequently. I'm like, I don't really want to follow up with that person right now. They're going to say no again. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And I'll tell you why. So I had a person who finally joined us last night. And those of you who are in my challenge group probably saw me post about it in their challenge group because I added her last night. I have been talking to her for 4 months, and she has been telling me for 4 months that she wanted to do this. And every other week I follow up with her. So I let it go 2 weeks and then I follow up. And then I've been shortening it up like 7 days. So once a week I've been following up with her. Something she told me last night was, I am so glad that you stayed on top of this, Kim. She's like, if you wouldn't have kept reminding me that I wanted to do this and that we've talked about it, I would have forgotten about it and then I wouldn't have done it. So thank you for being on top of it and being on me to do this, because I need this. So that was where I thought I'm being annoying or I'm going to hear no again. She told me no, I bet you 12 times before she said yes. And so sometimes that happens. And sometimes people do get annoyed. And if they do, then whatever. But I would say the majority of the time they don't. They're thankful that you're telling them, hey, hold on a second. Are you going to help him make some dinner? Okay. I think that by and large, people appreciate it because they do have a lot going on in their life. And I don't think that people genuinely are going, gosh, that girl's annoying. They're just saying, I'm just busy right now. And some people will say, I'm just busy right now. I had another person yesterday. I've been talking to her for 7 months. 7 months I've been talking to this girl. She actually has been in every single free group that I've offered for the last year. Every single one. And every time I've messaged her afterwards, hey, I'd love for you to join our accountability group. And she's always like, yeah, that would be really great, but no. And she's a network marketer also. And so, so she knows, she gets it, you know, and she's like, no, I don't have the money to do it right now. And then, and I'd always say, okay, I'll keep you posted. We'll keep talking. And every time I have a free group, she's in there again. Well, she said I sent her a message a week ago and 2 weeks ago, and she was like, yeah, it's time. I'm like, what? And and then I've never talked to her on the phone. I still haven't talked to her on the phone. She was a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing. So it was like one of those people that I friended on Facebook, didn't know her. I've gotten to know her over the last year, and she and I have messaged back and forth. So last night she said, out of nowhere, she was like, I've been super busy. My senior in high school made it to state championships in soccer. We're still traveling around with them. Where do I order? Send me a link. And so I sent her a link to the challenge pack that she wanted, and I didn't expect her to do it. She did it today. But you never know. 7 months of going back to this girl every single month. Follow up. It pays off. Okay? And even if that person was so long ago, follow up. Right now, Kimberly looks like Shirley's Theron. I don't know why. You see that? Anyway, okay. I would say when you're having a rough month, the other thing you can do is continue to post on Facebook. Don't get discouraged. Don't get down on yourself and be like, nobody's watching my Facebook. Just keep doing it. And not beach body, beach body, beach body. Remember the ratio. Don't get desperate. When you're posting, don't post desperate posts. You know what I mean? Like, crap, it's the end of the month. Somebody buy something. You know what I mean? Don't post like that. Just continue to be who you are, but maybe be who you are just a little bit more during a month where you're having a hard time. You know, like if you're having a hard time, maybe I don't normally post 3 times a day. And those of you who watch me on Facebook, which is most of you, have probably noticed that I have been posting 3 times a day for like the last 2 weeks, because I'm like, I got to get in front of more people. I have to get in front of more people. So you post just a little bit more, but do remember the ratio. And then remember that you can talk about the benefits of what you're doing, your exercise, your Shakeology, your healthy lifestyle, without being Beachbody salesy. Okay, so you can just talk about, like Heather posted today, you got a lot of play on that post that you posted today about your 3-day refresh. And really, you weren't saying, hey, join me. You were just saying, hey, check out what happened. And I wouldn't call that a Beachbody post. That's just a post about your lifestyle. Your lifestyle happens to be greatly entwined with Beachbody. And if somebody asks, like somebody said in there, because I was watching your post all day, actually, somebody said on there, what is this refresh you're talking about? And I think it's somebody who's already a discount coach, but I can't remember. Yeah. So, gosh, I'm nosy, aren't I? I stalk you during the day. Well, I like to see it because I like to see when you guys are successful. And I knew that post was going to be successful, which is actually why I commented on it, because I wanted to see the other comments that came up over the course of the day. And I was right. Ha ha. I do that with all of you guys, just so you know. I'm a stalker. But anyway, I think all that's good. And I think it's really important too, that your story, again, isn't Beachbody salesy. It's just telling your story. And I think that's an okay thing to share too. But I would say that when you're having a rough month, just post a little bit more. Be a little bit more of you. And the reason why is because it just gets in front of more people. And the more people that you get in front of, the more people are going to go, crap, right, I did want to do that with her. And they're going to remember you. And it's not going to be because you posted about Shakeology and you're holding your Shakeology. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. That's not going to be why. They're going to be because they know that you're a Beachbody coach. And then they remember that you had that conversation 6 months ago. And they remember that, crap, yeah, it is really close to summer. I got to do something about this. So just maybe be more of you when you're having a rough time. Be patient, okay, with yourself, with other people, and don't throw in the towel just because you're having a hard time. So when you are having a hard time, do expect that people are probably also having a rough month, especially if it's like May, when you know that everybody is finishing school and everybody's got graduations and continuations and plays and spring concerts and, all these different things that are going on, that it's not just you, that everybody's having that same thing. So be patient with people. And, when somebody says, call me at 7:30 and you call them at 7:30 and they don't answer the phone, don't get upset about it. Don't take it personally. Just think, you know what? Maybe they had a wet kid in a bathtub and they had to get him out. And their night just got away from them. And just expect the good in people, I think, too. And that's part of the being patient part. And be patient with yourself and know that you have what it takes to get to where you want to go, but you're going to have to get into it and do it. But still be patient with yourself. When you're providing a really good experience for your customers and you're having a time, don't feel bad about asking people who you know really well, hey, do you know anybody who might benefit from this great deal that we've got going on and my challenge group that's going on? Ask for referrals, because those don't hurt. And they actually, sometimes I've had referrals be quite successful, actually. And so ask people for referrals. Ask your discount coaches to ask people for referrals to drive your volume. But don't feel bad about that. If you're providing a good experience for your customers, they're more likely to recommend you anyway. And if they're like, I have a customer who started Shakeology, get this, a month ago, just right at a month ago, she's lost 18 pounds. I'd say that's a good experience. It's a lot. She had a lot to lose, but still she's got like 70 pounds to lose, but still, I'm beside myself. For her, I'm just beside myself. I think she's doing great. So don't be shy to say, hey, do you know anybody else who might benefit from what you're doing and can join you and keep you accountable to what you're doing too? So don't be shy about that. I think that that's a good thing, and you're just kind of spreading the wealth sort of thing. And I said this before, and I'm going to repeat it because I think it's really important. Don't settle for no Success Club points on the board. Just because you're not hitting Success Club doesn't mean you shouldn't get on the board. And the reason I say that is because you lose a great amount of momentum by Success Club 0. And I think y'all have probably experienced that. And tell me, if you get 2 Success Club points on the board, does the next month feel a little bit easier than it does if you had no Success Club points on the board? Generally. So I would say don't settle for nothing. Don't settle for 0 ever. Keep your momentum going. Do what you can do, and at least get on the board, because you never know what might happen. And remember that everything you're doing in a tough month, like this month, is just going to pay off next month. So all the people you're talking to right now that are too busy to respond to you, in June when things slow down and maybe they're sitting on a beach vacation and they're, hey boobs, and they're sitting on, a beach somewhere in their bathing suit and they look down and they can't see their feet, they might go, I really, and let's say you message them and they've got time to respond to you. I can promise you June's going to be easier than May. It always is. But if you're not laying groundwork now, it's not going to be easier. It's just going to be harder. So make sure that you're there and you're already doing the things that are going to make you successful in June. I would say that going for no is really, really important. And I have 2 different lists that I work from, like I call it a hot list and a no list. And so I have a hot list, which is people I think are going to buy something. And those are the people who kind of told me that they're definitely interested, but now's not a good time, or I got to wait 2 weeks till my next paycheck, or, they've confirmed that this is something they want to do. I call that a hot list. And I do follow up with those people a little more frequently than I do my no list. And then I've got this no list, or some people I have never talked to, but a lot of people that I have. And that list are the people that I'm not afraid to go and send a message to and hear no back and be totally fine with it. And so my no list has about 35 people on it, and my hot list has about 12. And so I put it up on a whiteboard, and they're on complete opposite ends of the board. And so as my hot list starts to dwindle, because if people buy things, the hot list goes away. I'm adding people from the no list to the hot list. And I continue to do that. And I just keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. I would call that my machine. And I keep feeding my machine with people. So I think that really it works really well for me. That's kind of the system I developed a couple of years ago, but I just put it in writing actually a couple months ago, and it's really helping a lot. And you just can't, like, if you really are messaging, let's say at minimum 3 people a day, so that's 21 people a week. Are you really going to remember who those people were the next week when it's time to? No, there's no way. You have to write it down. And so I really have 3 lists. I have my list, my master list that just has everybody on it. And then I have this hot list and this no list. And so that really does help me a lot. And it really tends to make me successful most of the time. Still not saying things aren't hard. They're hard. It's hard. But some months it's not. And it ebbs and flows. It goes in ups and downs. There's some months where you're like, I can't, please stop getting successful points because I need them for next month. And then there's other months where you're like, please, just one person, please, and they go like that. And, but seriously, I would highly recommend doing a hot list and a no list, and really using it. And so here's a really good tip, I think. Maybe not. But on Amazon, they have this thing. It's a whiteboard that's a sticker. It's just a big sticker. And it's like contact paper. And it's $10.99, and you get a whole bunch of it, like about the same amount as you would get for a board that costs about $45, $50. It's that big. And so I put it on a wall behind a door in my, like where I keep my kids' calendar and stuff. And that's where I had a little tiny whiteboard in there that I've been using for the past couple of months, and I was just running out of room. I'm like, I can't even read it anymore. So I got this thing from Amazon. It was $10.99. It was the same price as my dinky one that I have in there. And I had Frank put it up, and then I filled it all in, and it's awesome. And I have extra space too. But that's where I have my no list and my hot list. And that's where I keep it. And so I kind of have to walk by it every day. So I would say that's the other thing, is that if your list is on a computer, that's great, but you don't have to look at it every day. This stares at me in the face every day. I have to walk by it to get to my bedroom. I have to walk by it to get to the kitchen multiple times a day. So I see that multiple times a day. And the cool thing is as I walk by it, sometimes I'm like, oh crap, I forgot I had already talked to this person. I go put their name down, and I just keep going like that or I think of somebody to put on the no list, and I go over there and write it down. I just keep doing it. And so it's in a very accessible place that I am forced to look at on a regular basis. I think that's a good thing. Start more conversations, not about Beachbody. Just connect with people. I'm finding that, like this person who I talked to last night, who I've been talking to for about 4 months about this, she and I have so much in common. And we had such a nice conversation last night. And I actually, this is really weird. So I'd never met her in person that I knew of. I just met her on Facebook. She and I have been talking, and I went to her preschool, and I actually didn't know where she worked either. I went to a preschool the other day, and she pops out and she's like, is that Kim Mitchell? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm Lindsay. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so she introduced herself to me. I was there presenting a sun safety demonstration for the Cancer Center on outreach. And she's like, I'm Lindsay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I finally got to meet you in person. And she's like, I know, how cool is that? And she's like, I had a feeling, she said, you posted a thing on Facebook the other day about sun safety. And I realized that's who's coming to my school. And she's like, I finally got to meet you. And when we talked on the phone last night, we just had such a nice conversation. And I was like, you know what, this is somebody I could be friends with, like good friends with. She's a really sweet person. And she and I had so much to talk about. But I think that's really cool. And so it's not just about Beachbody. It's not just about helping people. Sorry, it's not just about helping people. It's about being friends with people and being nice to people and enriching people's lives with your presence. Okay? Because sometimes that's nice. Sometimes you find really good friends out of this. I mean, shoot, look at you guys. I would not be close with any of you if not for Beachbody conversations. And you guys are very enriching to my life. So that's pretty cool. Okay. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and I think it's really important, and I think you guys all do a good job of it. But since we're recording this for people who aren't quite as good at this, I think it'll be good for them too. But my main thing, and I think maybe I've said it multiple times tonight already, you have to get people on the phone. They have to hear your voice. There's been some studies done about voice recognition and voice intonation and things like that recently. And it translates to what we do, because what people say is that they don't trust you unless they've heard your voice. So live video, awesome. Voice messages, awesome. Get people on the phone. If you want to talk to somebody about changing something in their life, I know it takes time. I know it takes an effort to get people on the phone, but get people on the phone. It is super, super important. And I think that rarely do I sell a challenge pack without talking to somebody on the phone, and sometimes multiple times before they actually buy something. And sometimes I talk to people for 2 hours on the phone and they never buy anything. But, you know, by and large, generally, if you can get somebody on the phone, you can get them to join your challenge group. And it's beneficial to you, absolutely. But really, it's more beneficial to them. Joining your challenge group, getting a challenge pack, and doing something like this is more beneficial to them than it is to you. And you are helping somebody so much by introducing them to something that works. So I think that if you remember that, and you remember that, you know, sending somebody a link, although that's what I did today, but that's what she asked for. Sending somebody a link in a Facebook message is not really a great way to connect with somebody and build a relationship with somebody. And in order for somebody to trust you with their body and their feelings and their emotions, because weight loss is an emotional, feeling laden thing, you are going to have to get on the phone. So I think you guys are generally pretty good at that. But for newer coaches who maybe aren't, I think that that's really important. Okay, we have 7 minutes left. I'm done with what I wanted to say. I hope that helps you guys. That is what I've been doing to try to get me to where I need to be this month, and what I've done in months past when I've had a rough time. So I hope that helps, and I hope it gives you guys some ideas about how you can make these next 6 days really count. Okay, questions, problems, unrelated things?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The changes for the quarterly on demand. It's going to all, it's going to all access?
Didn't see that. The main thing I saw with that was that, I don't know, maybe that would make sense, actually. I think it's going to all access. It's just more expensive. It's still $40 a quarter.
Yeah, because it's saying starting June 1st, all access for all members.
I did read that. Yeah, it's just more expensive. So you can pay $40 a month, but you have to pay an extra $60 a year to get that quarterly payment, which is just, again, words I would say, really not very smart.
Exactly.
And it's usually people who are trying to save money that do the quarterly. And I've got somebody right now who does the quarterly, and I'm like, why are you doing it quarterly? Why don't you just do the annual access? Pay the one time, and it's going to save you $60. Duh. But whatever. And the other big thing is that the 30-day trial will now be a 7-day trial, which I think is a very good thing. I think that is it 2 weeks? Really?
Yeah, 14 days.
14 days, okay. Still, I think that's awesome, because that doesn't give them a chance to get through an entire program. The 30 days gets them a chance to get through the entire 21-day fix and then some. And I thought that was ripping Beachbody off the whole time. So I'm excited about that change. Yeah. I think those are good things. Smart things. Anything else?
No.
Everybody got their travel plans for Summit?
Yep.
Get on it, girl. Kimberly's going to pick us up at the airport. She did. And then we're going to go to the grocery store.
Buy eggs.
We're gonna buy eggs and yogurt and lettuce.
And wine, white wine for Kimberly.
Yes, it's important. We have to try to get them to put our rooms together.
Yeah, and I think right now it may only be me and Lizzie because I'm not sure that Angel can go because I think she's gonna be off being famous.
Oh, she is fancy, isn't she? I thought
Yeah.
she wanted to do the challenge.
Yeah, I know she does, but she's over in, I think, Germany right now performing 2 operas and maybe doing something else at the same time. So I'm not sure that's going to work out for her to go, but
Yeah, it's just right now Heather and I in our room.
okay.
Well, okay, wait. Let me just back up a little bit. If that's the case,
So if that happens, then we should just drop a room.
and combine rooms.
Yeah.
Well, Heather and I are for sure just Heather and I.
Okay, I'll confirm with Angel because I know that money's tight for me and I'm sure it's tight for Lizzie. So it would be better if you're up for that, Heather. I'll sleep with Kim so you don't have to deal with the
Farting.
the farting.
Oh, this is recorded.
I'm going to bring some air freshener.
I'm glad this is on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. Listen to the end. There's a gem.
Or just trim it. I would just trim it.
I don't even know how to do that. I don't care. Whatever. I fart. It is what it is. Is that okay with you, Heather?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Frank?
I'm paying for a wedding the next month, so I'm good with some money saving.
Okay. So that actually does. Oh, Kimberly was just wanting you to confirm the fact that I fart.
I said fart happens, right, Frank?
Yes.
Good times.
More often than I would like.
Well,
Also on YouTube. Okay. I should stop the recording now. Here we go. Stop.